Hi, I'm Nate Adams. I'm one of the co-founders of HVAC 2.0 and wanted to walk you through, since you're here trying to figure out what this thing is, walk you through the report that comes out of the Comfort Consult, which is kind of the key piece. There's been a bunch of client education that's happened at this point, and you have done a blower door test on their house. You've asked them what they want to fix. There's a whole bunch of work that's been done, both for your benefit so you can understand what's going on, what they want, and also for theirs because you've been building a relationship and you now genuinely understand A, what they're looking for, B, what their house needs, and C, you have an idea of their budget. And all of these are very important. So this is the Comfort Consult report. It's an automatically generated report. So I'll show you on the back end once we run through this what it looks like. If you have followed HVAC 2.0 very much, you will know this Venn diagram: goals, house needs, and budget. Those are the three things you figure out at the Comfort Consult. So there's just a boilerplate cover page here, and you can put a link to the photo album. But then it helps them understand where their house stands. So like their goals, we like spectrums a lot. So you'll see this spectrum for their goals is from not a problem on one side to fix it now on the other. And so you will have asked all of these questions when you did the Comfort Consult. And that's the second of the first two paths. They can either do a free quote, and the free quotes with 2.0 are really nice because you don't do any free consulting. If they start asking you a bunch of questions, you let them know that we have a different path for that. That's the Comfort Consult. And we can really help tailor a solution to you. Otherwise, we're just going to replace what you have with what you have. We'll give you the good, better, best options, but nothing beyond that. So the founders have been finding that it halves how much time they spend on free quotes. They don't have a lot of heartache over it, and it hasn't hurt their closing ratios, which is pretty cool. So spending half the time but getting the same benefit doesn't suck. And then the closing ratios from doing Comfort Consults are very high, the 60 to 80% range. So the odds are if you sell one of these, you're going to sell a very nice piece of equipment. So that said, moving on, you can see what their goals are, put on a spectrum, and you want to try and make these emotional. Like I've had several clients tell me that their master bedroom in the summertime is so warm that they don't sleep with their wife anymore. They head for the couch so they can actually fall asleep. Or kitchen counter being so cold you can't proof bread. So these are nice emotional goals. That's what you want. And this process helps you pull those out of people. You get to show them how leaky their house is because you ran a blower door test. So this is based actually on where my house began when we bought it about a year ago, and it was pretty leaky. And then you can show which rooms are the leakiest. So if you have a leaky room in a house, the odds of being able to HVAC that problem away are very low. So you want to try and find a solution to that if you have a real stinker, or you can avoid the responsibility for that by letting them know, hey, if we don't do any shell work, I wouldn't expect that room to be more comfortable. Then there's energy use comparison. So we pulled this from a Department of Energy data set, and it shows you where their house is based on their energy use. So I had thrown in 7,000 kilowatt hours and 1,000 therms of gas. So it's helpful for people to understand if their house is efficient or if it kind of sucks. And in this case, the numbers I put in kind of suck. And my house to begin with did kind of suck. All right, this is a really important chart here. So this is how you help people understand just how oversized their HVAC is. So I put in here the standard that we see in Cleveland, which is an 80,000 BTU furnace and a 3-ton air conditioner. That's just kind of normal. I'd say solid half of the houses I go to have that set up. But by putting in what the house actually needs into a load calculation tool, it came up that it's closer to 30,000. And these are the real numbers of my house, and about a ton of cooling. And then if we do some work to it, it comes down to about 2 tons and then under a ton for cooling. So this is going to help you downsize equipment, and the more you can downsize but not over downsize, the better their comfort's going to be, the better the reviews you're going to get, the more referrals you're going to get from them. Smaller is better when it comes to HVAC, but you don't want to be too risky about it, and by having a blower door and energy use and using an energy model that trues to both of those, you're really safe downsizing equipment. Then here's another really key one to show that is, again, auto-populated. You put the information in for this, but then it makes this look pretty. So odds of success, if we just change your HVAC out, it ain't going to do the job. Or sorry, for this one I did show it will do the job. So it is 70 to 90% odds. That's pretty high. So that means that you would have been confident for that. And sometimes they're going to be asking about air sealing and insulation, and that may not be enough. Or it's a really complicated house that you want to be very careful with. And so you recommend the next path that we have, which is called the comprehensive planning process. It's really pretty simple, broken down, but it's much more detailed plans. And that's where you get to the very high odds of success, because you really work your way through and you do the homework. But you can change these out to anything you want. So we see our guys really play with that. Then odds of success, this is another critical thing. So if you want to avoid owning things that you don't want to own, or like we call it, responsibly avoiding responsibility, you want to give people odds of success. So we already talked about that with doing HVAC or insulation or both. This is what the odds of success are for various budgets. So if they have champagne taste on a beer budget, you can let them know that. Sure, we can find something to do for you that's $75 a month, or about 10 grand. It's 50-50. Are you okay with that? And if they are, great. And if it doesn't work, you'll want to have other things for them to do. And then also you can point them back to, so remember that conversation we had? So this gives you something in writing to refer back to, which is nice. And then you can show them what higher budgets lead them to, which can be useful. You can make various observations. So I just left these as the stock ones that come in the software. So I had written these a while ago. These are mainly meant just to remind you, like, is this something that I should make a comment about or not? And then there are 4 levels of recommendations. And basically level 1 and level 2 are kind of simple things to kind of wear them down, because some people need to go try the cheap stuff and see if it works or not. And if they go through the things that you suggest and it doesn't work and they come back, they're going to be ready to buy that nice piece of equipment that you suggested to them and that you think is likely to solve their problems. So level 1 is up to $200. Level 2, this needs to adjust. It's going to be $200 to $2,000. And so like up to $2 grand, you can do things like bath fans and a range hood and things like that. Level 3 is stuff that you want to do and that has higher odds of success. So this is where you sell a new piece of HVAC. You'll notice a badass HVAC is in here. You may want to suggest HVAC diagnostics if you think the thing's starting to go sideways. Don't do that work for free. Give them an offer. You can suggest a duct design. You can suggest fresh air. You can suggest a new water heater. Lots and lots of different things. And then level 4 is what we call Path C, and that's the comprehensive planning process. So you get an idea there. I didn't fill in summary here, but this is where you can tell them what you're thinking. So I really think that just changing your HVAC out is going to achieve your goals, so that's probably what I would recommend. Or your house is a real basket case and we should do more planning. But all of this is automatic. And I'll flip over to the software itself. So this is my house. And in the software, there are 4 different pieces. So the 4 questions, that is the intake part. So that's, do you have any heating problems, any cooling problems, any moisture problems, and any health problems? And you have them rank that on a scale of 1 to 10. That's the 4 questions. The initial consult, that's the comfort consultation. Just need to change the wording in there. And that's where you do a pretty long interview with them and some testing and so forth. And that leads to, again, high closing ratios and really nice pieces of equipment being sold. So if there's something you've been wanting to sell, put it in here. The odds are pretty soon you will sell one of those pieces of equipment. Third piece is the consult analysis, and I'll click on this. And this is where you fill in a bunch of stuff. So the comfort consult fills out basically the first half of the report, and this fills out the second half. So here's the link to put the photo album. You put in the blower door. Well, this actually auto-populates from the comfort consult. You put in your load calculations for where the house is today. If you make some adjustments, you can show where the house could be, and then you can see what it takes to match to the current equipment. So in this case, it had to be just obscene. So a layer, this is leakage to area infiltration ratio. Like a 2,000 square foot house with a 2,000 blower door is a 1.0 layer. So to be able to make this equipment work in my house, we'd have to have just an obscene blower door number, which would basically require opening about 3 windows all year to actually right size that equipment. And that again helps you sell smaller equipment that will make your clients happier. You can put in various observations, you can add whatever you want. Odds of success, like I was showing you earlier, there's where all of that gets entered in. You can change your budgets around and your odds of success, put in different observations, and then there will be the 4 levels of recommendations. And so all of these together, they really give a client, and you can just get to the bottom here, just click Save, and then you just click PDF, and it will auto-populate. So there, you see it, that's the same as this, only now it has the updates. So if you change anything, it will be updated here. And then you have this nice PDF to send off to people. And we found this is very helpful in helping people understand where they are, the issues with their house, the odds of fixing various things. It really kind of ties a whole bunch of concepts together for your clients. So that's what you get. And there's currently really 3 different ways into the software. You can do the straight up free version, which won't give you the report. So you get to put everything in here. So you can do the 4 questions, the initial consult, the consult analysis. So you can essentially use this like a miniature CRM. It's not amazing for that, but you could. But if you want to get a report out of the free version, you only have to pay 25 bucks a pop. That price will surely be changing in the future, but that's what we're doing for now. And then you can also sign up to be an early adopter. So that gives you kind of a basic overview of it. This is HVAC 2.0 as it stands today. We are continuously making improvements. Some are small, some are a little bit bigger. But if you want to be able to solve some pretty tricky problems and have more fun at work and get better reviews and just make more money, if you want all of that stuff to happen, this is a really good system to do that. We're still kind of early, so it's not very expensive as it stands. But if you would like to help us build this and make it better, please join us. So all you have to do is click apply. We'll send you a bunch of information so that you can do some homework, get up to speed, and then you get into the software. So you can be into the software in 30 seconds at this point. So thanks again. Hope you guys have a great day, and really look forward to seeing you as we move forward with the 2.0 program. Thanks. I'm Nate.